welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Sam, and in today's video I'm going to be filming a little Q&A. I think this is the first time I've ever done this on my channel. I do them quite often just in my Instagram stories. If you don't follow me on there already, it's _SamHolly_. Also, really sorry if you can hear Bluey just a blaring. I think I should go turn it down. It's the only way that I can get Frank to like, yeah. All right, so I had asked y'all on my Instagram to ask me literally anything, thrifting, reselling, questions, social media, personal, whatever. So I had saved a bunch on here, and we will just start to go through them. They are very all over the place. I haven't looked at every single question, but from what I can tell, they're all over the place, which I think is really fun. So there's really no just rhyme or reason. What? Okay. Okay, so the first question I got was, do you stick to certain style or things you shop for, or is everything fair game? So I definitely have a style, and after a long time of trying to come up with what my style is, like what makes me happy, what do I want in my house, I've landed on cottage style or like English countryside / like, I don't know, eclectic. Just overall, I want my house to be cozy. I've said this in another video, but if you picture those illustrations of like the little woodland creatures in their little burrow, and they have like a quilt and they're drinking tea and they're in a chair, that's the vibe I want in my house. So just basically I want it to look like a cottage. And when I go thrifting, I'm looking for pieces that would go in my home, and it seems as though that's the type of thing that sells when I do resell things. Sometimes I go to the thrift store with a list, like I might be looking for like the most random things, like maybe I'm looking for a tension rod for a curtain, you know, to go where my sink goes, random things, or clothes for my boys, but mostly I'm looking for cottagecore stuff. All right, let's move right along. I got a lot of questions about selling on Etsy, and this is perfect timing to go in on Etsy, because I just had a huge snafu, if you will. So let's move on. Why do you prefer Etsy to eBay? I have a client who has a unit of items to sell on eBay. First of all, I have no idea how to use eBay. eBay scares me. I literally have no clue. The whole like bidding situation, maybe it's different now, but it scares me. I don't know. That's why I don't use eBay. I don't even know how to do it. One time, a long time ago, it's been a really long time, I tried to sell something on there and I was like, what? So, or even buying something. It's like, can I just buy this? Why do I have to bid on it? Anywho, so I always preferred Etsy, but not anymore. So I've had my Etsy shop for years now. I started it with my Thrift Kid company. I had a little company called Thrift Kid, not even a company, my little side business, where I made thrifted boxes, like curated monthly subscription boxes for kids clothing, and then I started my own website. So I left Etsy to do that, and then when I went back onto my Etsy, I continued my same account, but I changed the name and started just reselling my finds. And so I've been on there for several years. I have had some issues, small ones here and there, but as of recently, they shut down my shop, just closed it. I had just sold a bunch of stuff. I had just put up, I think, around 20 items, which for me is a lot because it takes me a long time to put a new drop of stuff on Etsy, just because it is a bit tedious, and I have kids, and I tend to sell easier on my Instagram. It's normally where I sell stuff. So anyway, I just put a bunch of stuff on there, sold a bunch of stuff. I only had 5 items left in my shop, and they closed my shop. I still don't know why. It just happened. Very, very frustrating, just out of nowhere. No explanation. There's no phone number to call. You have to open up a ticket and wait to hear back from them. a whole mess. So if you want to hear a little bit more about it, you can go onto my Instagram. I just recently made stories, and I might save it in a highlight. But yeah, I wouldn't really recommend selling on there, because the fact that I can't speak to a human, and the fact that I did not get any notice, I did not get any warning, nothing like, hey, we're about to take your site down if you don't do this, you know? And the email that I got said it could be one of these 4 things, and none of those things is going on in my shop, so I literally don't know what it is. The only thing I can think of is one of the reasons it said was, one reason it could possibly be shut down is that your name, your shop name, is similar to another shop name that was suspended. Okay, so anyway, I wouldn't really recommend them. I don't know who I recommend. I've heard a lot of good things about Whatnot, so maybe I'll check that out and report back. Better to sell your finds on Etsy or your own website? Torn between the options. Your own website. Okay. Do you use copper? I do. In your decor, it's asking. I do. I love copper. I don't have a lot in my home because I mostly resell it. So, because I know people love it. What sparked the love of blueberries leading to your business name? So my reselling business name is called Blueberry Vintage Company. And then my wife and I have a reselling furniture, like flipping, refurbishing company called Blueberry Furniture Company. So what sparked the name? First of all, we live in Maine, and Maine is known for blueberries. I think blueberries are darling and adorable, and I also love to eat them. And I just thought blueberry was perfect. I don't know, I just thought blueberry was so cute, and you know, kind of encompass that we live in Maine, but it's not like pine tree, you know, which everything in Maine is named like pine tree. So anyway, I loved blueberry. I thought it was very cottagey too. And then Vintage Company, vintage encompasses everything that I might resell. Most of the furniture, it started with my furniture company. We called it Blueberry Vintage Company because we also resold vintage goods. So it kind of just encompasses all of that. And then my wife made the logo. We did it through Canva, but and I just love our little logo. So not a super long story behind it, but just mostly because of Maine. And then this person also asked, what got you into thrifting and cottagecore? So thrifting, I don't speak to my mother anymore, but she really was the one who started my love of thrifting. We used to always go to yard sales, flea markets every weekend. We were at Goodwill all the time. And in middle school, I was like, ugh, gross, you know? But once I got to high school, vintage was kind of cool. Like that grungy, eclectic-y vibe. I don't know, I loved Pretty in Pink and 16 Candles, and I just loved how she like made her clothes. I thought that was really cool. And I've always been obsessed with Friends, and I've loved Monica's apartment, and I feel like her apartment is very cottagey. And then once I heard the word like cottagecore and realized like what that style was, I was like, oh, that's my style. I love that. I never knew there was like a name for it. I just always wanted my house to look like I lived in England, you know? I've always been very obsessed with England too. I don't know, I feel like I've been born in the wrong country. Like I just belong in a little cottage somewhere, you know? And I always loved like British movies. I don't know, just love the cottage vibe. I just want to be indoors, snuggled up in a blanket. Let's see, what else? What's your history with thrifting? Okay, I just kind of answered that. Somebody just said Maine living. I'm obsessed. So what is it like to live in Maine? Maybe that's the question. I moved to Maine when I was 14. I'm 35 now, almost 36. And at first, because I was 14, I was like, what the hell? But I moved from New Hampshire, so it really wasn't that much of a difference. But I thought in my head, like Maine was gonna look like how it does in the movies, like always like coastal and beautiful. And I moved to central Maine, which is where I'm back to now. Southern Maine and coastal Maine are gorgeous. Even inland Maine, like where I am now, like the ponds, the lakes, the pine trees, like literally it is so, so beautiful. I love that you can be in the woods and then an hour later you could be on the ocean. It's just so gorgeous. There's a lot to do outside. I don't love being outside, but the things that you can do outside here, I love to do. I love that we have all of the seasons. I like that you can go to Portland and, you know, have tons of stuff to do, or you can, you know, where I live, it's a little bit more quiet and slow living, which I enjoy. So highly recommend Maine. It's beautiful. Also the food's good. I love the food. Any tips for decorating a child's bedroom? Well, every decorating tip I have is going to lean more cottage style. So if you like that style, I am really into beadboard or board and batten walls right now, and putting hooks like literally everywhere. So I would highly recommend putting up some sort of little peg hook, or installing, you know, just the little screw hooks and having like a board and batten wall. It saves, or beadboard saves your walls from their little fingers, and you can decorate and hang just about anything on these little pegs, and it creates function but also makes it cute. I also recommend putting literally all of their toys in baskets, so that way their room looks tidy and adorable, but everything's tucked away. I also, in any room really, recommend mixing old with new pieces. I just feel like that's what makes your home the most cozy, and especially in a kid's room, you can find the cutest things that are vintage and incorporating them as decoration in their room. So as far as like clothing organization, for my toddler, we just use a dresser for everything and then hang his clothes. Nothing too crazy, but finding a really cute old dresser and refurbishing it or leaving it as if it looks good, that always creates a bit of coziness in their room too. Something else I love to do, what I've done in Frank's room, is I have framed some, I've thrifted some old children's books that have really pretty illustrations, and I put them in, I took out the pages and put them in a frame, put those in his room. That's a really fun thing to do, always framing their artwork. Like, these are all my kids' artwork over here. That's a really fun way to decorate their room. Let's say, what are the plans for the rooms in your house you still want to work on? So in my home, we bought it over a year ago. We are working slowly but surely. The kitchen was a big one. Still not 100% done in here either. I need a new lighting fixture. I don't know if these are our forever floors, you know, things like that. But there used to be carpet in here. It used to be yellow and dingy, and the sink was gross. Like, everything in here has been pretty much changed. We still need to work on our living room. I really want to make built-ins for books and decorations, and I need to work on our bathroom. Our bathroom is the biggest project. I also need to finish our basement up. I have a lot of projects left, so stay tuned. Especially on this channel, I want to film all of the redos. So this one, going to reselling, like I said, these are kind of all over the place. This person's asked, how do you calculate shipping costs? So I use the site Pirate Ship. You just create an account, it's free, and you put somebody's shipping information in there, and the size of the item and the weight and all that, and it'll calculate the shipping cost for you, and it gives you discounted rates. So I always use Pirate Ship. This one said, what are you looking forward to in this coming year? And I think this year is going to be, like, I don't like knock on wood, but I think this year is going to be the best year yet. I just have a feeling. What I'm looking forward to is hopefully my wife being able to leave her job and stay home and do our furniture flipping business full time, and I can do my content creation full time. I also really would love, by the end of the year, to move away from reselling and just focus on content creation. I love finding stuff and selling it, and I think that the people who buy from me enjoy my finds. It's just, it's a lot of work. People really don't realize like how much work it is, and I do make a bit of money from it, but it's a lot of work to make that money, and the things that I sell are not very expensive, and so I don't make a lot of profit, if that makes sense. While I do enjoy it, I just think I'd love to move away from that by the end of the year. A very slow, gradual stepping away from it, but that's one of my goals and what I'm looking forward to this year. I'm also looking forward to where my social media world is taking me. I am almost at 80,000 followers on Instagram, and my TikTok is doing really well, and I really am looking forward to growing on my YouTube channel, and I'm just really excited for what might happen this year with all of this. I don't know what will happen, but I'm just excited for all of it. As far as like family life goes, I'm really excited to just continue to watch my boys grow. My youngest is almost 3, so I feel like the 3 and up ages are just so much more fun because they're like turning into a little human, and my older boys are just always doing a lot of activities, and it's just, I'm always looking forward to just watching them do whatever they're doing. So anyway, and a lot of house projects this year. I'm really excited to, we also started painting the outside of our house, so I'm excited for that to happen. Lots of stuff. I'm just hopeful for this year. Oh, okay, this is fun. This is totally like off the rest of the topics. Who are your celebrity crushes? So this is so embarrassing, but my first like real celebrity crush was Amanda Seyfried from like Mamma Mia. She was in a movie with Julianne Moore, and it also kind of made me be like, oh, I'm gay, because what the heck was that movie? I can't think of the movie. I'll try to figure it out and like put it up here. But anyway, loved her, but also if you are also gay, you've definitely watched The L Word. And I had the biggest crush on Tosh, Alice's girlfriend, also Poppy. So those were my crushes. I don't really have any crushes now because I watch like reality TV and nobody sparks my fancy, just my wife. So yeah, those are the crushes. Well, the first OG crush was obviously Jonathan Taylor Thomas. And I used to be in love with Zach from Hanson, but I also kind of look like him, so it's a little weird. And when I had a crush on him, I literally looked just like him. So anyway. How do you store your reselling items? I don't. I am a mess. I have piles, and I have plans to create shelving in my basement. I started my basement makeover. I have a room down there that is going to be like my reselling room or my office, and where I'm gonna film and things like that. But it's still in the works. We're still painting. So right now I just have a bunch of stuff down there. I do have it more organized. If you saw in my Instagram stories when I showed like my hoarder status situation down there, it is so much better right now. It's a lot more organized, but it's mostly all in my basement and some in my bedroom. It's not good. It's not good. What are you, ooh, this is so fun. I saw this question and I saved my top 5 so that I can remember. What are your top 5 accounts to follow for home decor? So I wrote them down on a little notes app. Hello, yep, in here, so that I could share, because I got really excited about that question for some reason. My first favorite account is House in the Heights. Leah, I love her so much. I started following her and I looked up to her so much. I was like, wow, her house is like everything. She just has such a good eye. Like, her home looks so cozy but so expensive and so well put together. It's very like eclectic but also cozy. I don't know, you gotta follow her if you don't. House in the Heights. I'll put everyone's name up as I talk, but she thrifts a lot too, so she shows you how to put thrifted items in your home. I just love her. So I also follow Ellerton Road Interiors. Lauren, love her page. She has like such a classic style. It's cozy and warm but super sophisticated. She has really, really good ideas. I love her page. Who else did I put down here? Oh, Margot Roth. I just love her. Her style is like English countryside, just so, I don't know, almost extravagant, but it's like cozy extravagance. I don't know, it's like almost like to the point where you're like, okay, this is a lot, but it works. Like, she just has layers upon layers in her house, like just so many different fabrics and bows, but it looks, everything is like perfectly curated and it just looks like she lives in England. I'm obsessed with her page. She always gives me inspo. She also just recently redid her yard into like a British garden. I'm obsessed. And she also has a million different types of animals. You need to follow her if you are not already. I also love my Cambridge Fairy Tale. Her page is gorgeous and just British cottage vibes. Also my Mulberry House, very similar. Her page, it's like a movie. Like her life just is like a movie. You just need to follow. You need to follow all those people. Love them all. They all inspire me in different ways. I'm gonna only answer 2 more because I'll be here all day. Does the technique of using a stamp on the wall actually look like wallpaper when it's done? Let's go look. All right, so we're in my kitchen. I used a stamp in here to make a little faux wallpaper backsplash, and from far away, I do think it looks like wallpaper. Even kind of, well, up close you can tell it's stamped. But and also I have a lot of mistakes. But I really, really love it. When you stand back, sorry, my kitchen's a mess. I truly do think it looks like wallpaper. I don't know. You'll have to let me know what you think. And then I also have this stamped wall in my hallway, and I truly think this one does look like wallpaper. I've had people ask me for the link to my wallpaper, so that kind of tells me it does look like wallpaper, but obviously when you look close you can tell it's just paint. So, but I love it so much. Also, my kids make fun of me because this one I messed up on, so it's like a mutant, but it's fine. Okay, my camera battery is about to die. I would love to do more of these. If you are interested in more of these, let me know down below because I find it super fun to just sit here and chat with you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next